Good day and welcome to the world of business and finance here on Equa Television International. I am Rachel Tanzi. There's been a forex crisis going on for weeks now, and due to this crisis, Nigeria's import from China has been down to 29.0%. Nigeria's import from China fell by 2.30 billion naira or 29.04% to 5.81 trillion naira in last year. Despite the drop, indication, however, showed that China continues to be responsible for most of the imports into Nigeria. According to the last data in foreign trade released by the National Bureau of Statistics, in the last quarter, Foreign Trade in Goods Statistics report, the NBS stated that during the quarter under review, Nigeria imported goods mainly for Asia, valued at 2.630 billion naira, or 49% of the total imports. Now, over the months, and this is a report for the last quarter of 2022, and the 2023, the first quarter is yet to be out. However, there's been a downturn in the import from China, even though regardless of the downturn, China is still our major importer of goods, regardless of what is happening, and due even to the cash crisis and the foreign exchange crisis that we've been going on and we've been seeing. Despite all of that, China still remains our major importers of goods and services. However, we're looking forward to where and when we will be consuming more Nigerian goods, in as much as the present administration has done a lot to see the Nigerian-made products are being consumed, as it will balance our trade. As it stands, despite the foreign exchange crisis, China is still our major importers of goods. Despite the downturn, we are still consuming a lot of foreign products. We're looking forward to seeing that this could be as a result of all the policies put in place that Nigerian products are most consumed by Nigerians, and that as time goes on, we will have a balance of trade that will grow the economy and even give us a better consumption of goods. Currency in circulation drops to 982.0 billion naira. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has revealed that the currency in circulation for the drop to 982 billion in February. This can be attributed to the Naira redesign policy of the Apex Bank, which was announced last October when total circulation was put at 3.29 trillion. These figures reveal that 2.3 trillion of the cash was mopped up from circulation during the period under review. According to the CBN, the currency in circulation has moved from 3.16 trillion in November and also 3.29 trillion in December. Now, this drop kept on going. We can see it even up till now in January. And we know that there's been a lot of monetary policy standing from the withdrawal limits, which means the CBN is trying to control how much cash we have in circulation, because they want our money to remain with them. However, even with and then the next policy was the new Naira redesign. Also, the aim is to make sure that the old notes are out and the new notes are out to be able to circulate currency within. Now, this crisis has been going on, and I believe the CBN are achieving what they wanted, that is to have back cash in their own coffers rather than it being out there circulating. And this is for February, and I believe in March. However, there has been changes, and from March report, we will definitely see a different spike and an outturn, because we now know that the old notes and the new notes are now legal tender altogether by the ruling of the Supreme Court, which means the currency in circulation will no longer drop but will increase. However, there's still a measure taken by the CBN, the withdrawal policy, is not yet out, it means that still the amount of cash that will be in circulation will be less than how it is at the moment. So we will keep looking and seeing if the currency in circulation drops, or it goes high, or if it remains at the same position. Banks borrowing from CBN down to 14% to 443.7 billion. Banks borrowing from the Central Bank of Nigeria stand lending facility fell month on month by 14% in February, from 453 billion to 528 billion, meaning in January we had banks going to get 528 billion. However, in February it's down to 445 billion. There are reasons to why this borrowing has gone down. Finding from the CBN financial data for January and February, however, showed that banks deposit in the Apex Bank standing deposit facility rose by some margin to 668 billion in February from 584 billion in January. The decline in banks borrowing from the SLL line in money supply in the economy due to the various economic policy implemented since November 2022 to curb inflation and mop up cash in the economy. Where there is no flow of or supply of cash, we can see that businesses are no longer going to banks to get this cash, because we, the CBN, the federal government, are trying to introduce a policy where we will go cashless. That is, we have less cash out there and then we have more of it circulating within the bank. And we can see that there's been a spike in e-transaction. It's going high in as much as there has been a lot of issues with that. However, the borrowing from banks are less because now businesses are no longer in need of this cash. So if businesses are not going to the commercial banks, it means that the commercial banks don't need to go to the CBN to borrow from the CBN. Now it's down by 14%. However, cash has started circulating and is beginning to be out there. Perhaps there will be an increase, or it might remain at the same 14%, or it might go down depending on what means or what measures the small and scale businesses are taking. If businesses see that they can thrive without this cash, that is, the cashless system will be better, perhaps we will continue to see a downturn from commercial banks going to the CBN. However, it is believed that the CBN is very intentional about what they're doing and what they plan for the economy. As we can see that the marginal the rate for interest is increased, which we will be looking into that. When we come, we will see why the CBN are increasing the interest rate, and we can see how all of this is affecting why banks are borrowing from the CBN. And it might keep going down, it might remain the same, or it will go up. We will wait and see. Federation revenue dipped by 166.6 billion. Federation Account Location Commission approved 772.7 billion for sharing. Now let me give you a breakdown, a little bit of how this revenue came about and then how it is going to the people. The Federation gross statutory earnings in February 2000 by 166.598 billion naira, peaking at 487 billion naira against January statutory revenue of 653 billion naira. Breakdown of Federation Account Allocation Committee for February has shown with the figure the three tiers of government: the federal, state, 774 local government councils shared 722 billion as revenue from the Federation paused in February 2022. Revenue distribution figures released last night by Director of Press Public Relations Malam Bawa said the figures were approved by Federation Account Account Allocation Committee. Now, let's go deeper into the breakdown of how this allocation is coming into the government. First of all, before it's been disbursed to the federal government, to the state, down to the local government areas. The 722 billion distributable revenue comprised stationary revenue of 366 billion, value added tax of 224 billion, electronic money transfer levy 0.64 billion, and 120 billion naira augmentation from forex equalization account. Deduction for cost of collection was 27 billion, and total deduction for transfer, savings recovered, and refunds was 109 billion. Of total distributable revenue of 722 billion, the federal government received 269 billion, the state government received 236 billion, and the local government council received 173 billion. Now, if you look you are generated, you can see that a lot of it, apart from the state, we have the value added tax. That is the tax that we pay directly or indirectly from the goods that we consume. Now, this means that as citizens of Nigeria, we have the right to ask what these allocations are being spent on. As you can see, that is the money from the people, and it's needed to be done of the people. We need to see the federal government constructing roads and building projects that we can account for. We need the government at the state level doing what is right with this income, and then we also need to see the local government doing the right thing with this income, because these are majorly taxes, these are discretionary income, these are electronic money and transfer levy. These are all income generated by activities of you and I in the country, directly or indirectly. So I believe as citizens, we have the right to ask, what are the government doing with this income generated by us? Nigerian investors lose 16 billion naira stock market. I take that again. Nigerian investors lose 16 billion in stock market. So the stock market is down by 16 billion on weak investment sentiment. Now we can see that there has been a foreign exchange crisis, and it has been going on for weeks now. It's because the naira is devaluing. We have our reserves going low, our foreign reserves going low. There's been a lot of foreign exchange crisis, and we can see that investors are losing over 16 billion in stock market on weak investment, on weak investor sentiment. We have investors at the Nigerian Exchange Limited telling us about 16 billion being sold off in medium and large capitalized stock. The NGX All Share Index decreased by 29.35% basis point, or 0.05%, to close to 54,884 basis point from 54,915 recorded. Similarly, the market capitalization lost 16 billion to close to 29.9 trillion posted in the previous trading. Analyzing by sectors to the NGX banking index added 1.3%, and NGX industrial goods appreciated by 0.1%. Also, the insurance index was down by 0.5%, and the NGX consumer goods index depreciated by 0.4%, while the NGX oil and gas index closed flat. So we can see that there is a fluctuation. However, despite the up and down in the 0.04 increase or decrease, we can see that money is being lost. However, there is a little explanation to what has caused the downturn. The downturn was impacted by losses recorded in medium and large capitalization stock, among which are Stanbic IBTC Holdings, Nigerian Breweries, Chemical and Allied Products, Multiverse Mining and Exploration, and FCMB Group. So these are all stakeholders and big and large capitalizations that are in this stock market trading, and we can see that it has impacted because of the losses recorded by these specific companies and how it has affected other investment and has led to this amount of money being lost. Now we have the digital economic operators exempted from 5% excise duty. Now we might want to understand a little bit on what our excise duty is. The excise duties are indirect taxes on the sale or use of specific products such as alcohol, tobacco, and energy. The revenue from the excise duty goes entirely to the country to which they are paid. However, bringing it down to our Nigerian economy, when the Minister of Finance brought about the excise duty on 12th of September last year, 2022, the Honorable Minister of Finance and Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, issued the excise duty, this time around not on alcohol or tobacco, but on carbonated and sweetened beverages, and she called it the Regulation 2022. Aligned to provision of Section 120 of the Custom and Excise Management Act, CAP 41, Laws of the Federation in Nigeria, 2024. The regulation, which takes immediate effect from that 12th September 2022, clarifies the administrative and enforcement issue on the excise duties chargeable on non-alcoholic drinks and sweetened beverage. Now, you need to know some of the fundamental things about this excise duty called the regulation. The excise duty regulation comprises 10 head regulation, including objective charge to tax. Goods include as non-alcoholic beverages, goods included in non-alcoholic beverages, persons liable to pay duty chargeable, periods, interpretation, and citation. The Nigerian government announced the exemption of the Nigerian digital economy from the proposed 5% excise duty introduced. Now, what the thing about this excise duty is that it doesn't stop only on consumable good, but even products that we don't consume them, such as the non-alcoholic beverages and the sugar, meaning even the IT and the telecommunication sectors are also included in this excise duty. However, the reason to why they're being exempted is that we already have the telecommunication industry, the technology industry, the IT sectors having a lot of tax to pay, and it was seen, the federal government saw it fit that let them take them out of this excise duty, let the digital economy go out of it, let them be exempted because of the many tax already on them. However, there are so many reasons to why there is this excise duty, and the finance minister is particularly concerned about the health of Nigerians, which is to fight obesity and diabetes. That is the major reason for the excise duty on these sugar beverages and non-alcoholic beverages. We can see that it is for the health of the country. However, businesses are not happy about this excise duty. Well, the digital economy can be happy that they are exempted. However, they have many other duties imposed on them. But we have businesses who are in the production and manufacturing of these non-alcoholic beverages not happy about this excise duty. However, it has come to stay since the 12th of September 2022, but this is the recent update that the federal government have decided to exempt digital economy from it. Now, we have seen that there is a low. We've talked about banks borrowing from the CBN going down to 14%. We have now the CBN, the Monetary Policy Committee, raising the MPR to 18%, highest since 2022. Amid naira scarcity crisis, CBN has raised this 18%. Now, there are warnings all over concerning this increase in the MPR. However, the CBN are not going back with what they have decided to do. They have agreed that this is the way forward and there is no going back. They have so many reasons to that. And at the end of the two-day meeting that took long with the Monetary Policy Committee, the CBN governor said the move was to further govern inflation. He also disclosed that the MPC voted to keep the cash reserve ratio at 32.5%, as well as the liquidity ratio at 30%. In January, the APC raised its benchmark lending rate from 16.5% to 17.5% in a sustained push to control inflation and ease pressure on the naira. We've witnessed this increase month since the last quarter of 2022, and we're still seeing this increase, and now is at 80%, 18%, the highest since 2022. And the statement from the CBN governor is, we believe that as we continue this process, that inflation will eventually begin to trend downwards. This is his words, and we hope and we're looking forward that yes, inflation is going to go down. As it is, inflation is not taking a break. Inflation is not slowing down. We are waking up every day to 0.05 increase. The last we had it at 21.9%. Now inflation is as high as 22%. In that the NPR has. We are looking forward to seeing what exactly this strategy is going to do for our monetary policy and for inflation specifically. Nigeria e-payment fraud hits 9.6 billion in single quarter. Now, we know with the cash crunch and cash scarcity, we as citizens have been depending on e-transactions, e-payment to be able to go on with livelihood. We are seeing that there is an increase to fraud, to e-payment fraud, and it has reached a maximum of 9 billion. That is to say, there is a lot of fraud. Apart from money that have been missing that can't be explained, there are gateways, there are payment gateways that have turned out to be a fraud. There are people out there still making lots of money in a fraudulent way through the e-payment. Now, talking about the economy, we are looking forward to having Nigerian Air being ready and to begin by May. This is an assurance coming from us that Nigerian Air is 98% ready, and the roadmap will go up $14.15 billion for the economy. This is the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Siraki, who is assuring Nigerian and disclosed this at the 10th National Aviation Stakeholders Forum at 2023 in Abuja. Said the national carrier project was 98% completed, adding that with successful implementation of the aviation roadmap, it had gone up about $14.16 billion. Now, not only will this go up that much, but this is going to add to the GDP of the country. We're going to see more employment. We're going to see more income generated and more revenue generated into the economy. Insurance assets is rising because people are starting to know the benefit of insurance, and these assets are rising to 2.3. These are assets kept, and these are also amounts that have been given out. And the more people are knowing the importance and the right way of going about insuring their properties and insuring their life, insuring their businesses, we are seeing that insurance assets are going high. And I hope that you should also go out there and insure your business, insure your property, anything that you have sunk in so much money in as a Nigerian citizen. Go find yourself an insurance firm. Go and insure your property, as a lot of people have lost so much. Businesses have encountered a lot of losses because they do not know the importance of insurance. And I'll leave you with that, as we have come to the end of business and finance today. Go and insure your property to be safe as a citizen, and so that you will encounter no loss. Have a great day.